Hey guys, it's Anthony Bandiero here, attorney and senior legal instructor with Blue to Gold Law Enforcement Training, bringing you another roadside chat from the studio. All right. So this question comes from an officer in New Jersey, and basically, can an anonymous tip about people with guns be used for a Terry stop? So let me give you the scenario here. So dispatch receives an anonymous call from a person who says that there are several individuals across the street with guns, right? Holding guns and so forth. The caller provided detailed information regarding the vehicle they were in. As a marked unit approached the individuals, they attempted to drive off. A felony stop was conducted. They cleared the car and 2 guns were found, unlawful handguns, and so forth. So the officer also says that the anonymous caller had a phone number and we had an address. All right. Are we good? The answer is going to be yes in my book. Now, there's a few things going on here. Okay. Let's kind of separate them out. So first of all, let's talk about anonymous tips. A truly anonymous tip is from someone you have no idea who it's from. Okay. Think Crime Stoppers. A tip comes into Crime Stoppers, and it's just an email basically from Crime Stoppers. Hey, this is a tip that came in. That is a truly anonymous tip and cannot be used for anything. Usually, right? Cannot be used with anything unless there's some form of corroboration. Corroboration is inside knowledge, right? If the person is just basically saying, hey, the guy on the corner is dealing drugs, and that's all you have, and you see the guy on the corner but nothing else, that's not corroboration. But because that's something that's not inside information. That's something anybody can accuse that person of dealing drugs. But if the person says, hey, there's going to be a drug deal going down at the Walmart parking lot tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. A white Ford F-150 is gonna park in the back lot, and a Camry is gonna pull up, and and they're gonna talk, and they're gonna exchange. They're gonna sell and buy drugs. That is corroboration. That's inside information. How the hell would somebody even know that? What do you got, a crystal ball? Okay. Now let's take 911 tips. 911 tips where the person, like here, doesn't want to get involved because they're, retribution, they don't have time to go to court, whatever the reason is, but you know who they are. You can track them down. That is not a true anonymous tip. Therefore, it doesn't absolutely require corroboration under all circumstances like a true anonymous tip. Because the U.S. Supreme Court, in a case called California versus Neverett, said that the 911 provides a form of reliability. Most people know when they call a modern 911 system, they know, even if they don't want to get involved or give their name, if they're calling from a subscriber's cell phone, they know that push comes to shove, the cops can track that person down, right? Maybe do a subpoena for the subscriber info, whatever, and track them down and charge them with a false report. Therefore, they're not truly anonymous. Now, look, if the person, the person's calling from a burner phone with no subscriber, it's a prepaid phone, whatever, I'm not too very familiar what information is needed to have a prepaid phone, but probably not much, or it's a 911 only phone. Then if you know that, then I would treat it as a truly anonymous tip. But here we don't have that. Again, someone not wanting to get involved, but you know who they are and you can track them down, is not truly anonymous. Now, the second question, though, is this whole idea about man with a gun, okay? So there's a Supreme Court case called Florida versus JL, where an anonymous tip, came in and said, look, this guy at the bus stop has a gun. Well, first of all, in JL, it was a true anonymous tip. So that was problematic. But the other thing is, look, I mean, in many states, having a firearm is legal, right? It's a shell issue. Pennsylvania and Washington and Nevada and, most states are a shell issue. So Simply having somebody call 911 and saying, hey, this guy has a gun. How do you know that? Because the jacket blew back in the wind and I saw a firearm. Or, showing a firearm, in a public place, in a parking lot or something like that. I mean, if it's, that's not going to be brandishing in most states, right? I mean, it's not threatening and so forth. So yeah, people get scared, but that's not necessarily a crime. So the next issue is, okay, we can believe the person, they're trustworthy because we know who they are. The next thing is, are they reporting criminal conduct, or they just reporting something that they don't like? Let's apply it to the facts here. We're talking about New Jersey. New Jersey is the most restrictive state in the United States when it comes to gun laws. I know Hawaii is up there, New York is up there, California is up there, but I can tell you from my research and so forth, nobody is as restrictive as New Jersey. So in my, I make a joke about this. There's only two people that have guns in New Jersey: cops and criminals. The citizen may have a gun at their home, but they're not carrying that thing around, on the street. So therefore, there is a presumption in New Jersey that having a gun in public, showing it and so forth, is going to be unlawful. The courts are going to take that viewpoint, I believe. In Texas, it's probably the opposite, right? I mean, having a gun in Texas goes hand to hand. I think when you become a citizen of Texas, they issue your driver's license and a high point. I mean, it's not a great gun, but at least they give you something. I think Tennessee gives out 6 hours. But my point is like, it's a very anti-gun place. So they're going to have the presumption of illegality. So finally, even if we're talking about a place like Texas, Tennessee, and South Dakota, we have one more element here that could actually help: the evasiveness. See, if I have shown, I'm a gun guy, so I carry guns all the time, right? I carry guns. I've been carrying guns since 21. So I have shown my gun to people, my friends and so forth. Look, I can say I don't think I've ever shown it in a public place. Like, I'm not doing this at the Walmart, but the point here is, if somebody saw me with a gun, let's say I flag somebody, my jacket flies back, right? But the cops show up and because they got a call, they just want to, contact me, and they're not detaining me yet. They're not pointing guns at me. They're not lighting me up, but they just want to talk to me. I'm not going to evade them. I'm not going to just try to get the hell out of there. Why? Because I'm legal. I'm legit. I got credentials, right? I can carry. But if I did, I'm like, oh, the cops are here, and I start immediately driving away. And the cop believes that reaction, that evasiveness, was because of the gun and the call and so forth. That is going to help prove that this person is likely engaged in criminal activity, not lawful carry. Does that make sense? So that factor could actually help you in the pro-gun places as well. If you didn't have that factor and the person's like, yeah, what's up, officer? What can I do you for? Then you talk to them, say, hey, do you have a gun? And then, you go from there. If they say no, then they probably are lying because somebody saw it. If they say, yeah, I got a gun, I got a concealed weapons permit. Okay, can I see it? We go from there. All right. Hey, did I move the ball forward even an inch? So hopefully you like this. Look, you want to help me out? You want me to keep doing these? Then I'm going to ask you 3 things. Hit like, hit subscribe, tell your friends about me, right? Share these videos with your friends. I got a lot more on YouTube too. All right. And with that said, until next time, my friends, stay safe.
When it comes to law enforcement training, we are the gold standard. Visit bluetogold.com or call 888-579-7796 to learn more about our training, books, and free webinars. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this channel.